Well, good morning, everyone. I am back home. I took a vacation for my birthday and went to Newport News, Virginia to visit with my grandbabies and my daughter and my son-in-law. And my smallest grandson turns one today. So we had a birthday party for him and for me because my birthday was Saturday. And I did upload some videos from yesterday when we went to the beach. We went to Huntington Beach. I took two of my grandsons. And we went to a place called Fort Fun, which is a big park with a pond and a very nice playground. And we've been there several times since I went down. Since my kids moved to Newport News, and they also have a little beach there that I took them to, and they can watch the boats get loaded in and out of the water, and jet skis going in, and then they have a swimming area. And I like it because they have it like buoyed in, so nothing can get in that area, like no jellyfish or any kind of fish that would bite or anything like that. So yeah, and my grandbabies had a ball. My Sahir, who is the middle grandchild, he's three, and he does not like sand on his feet, so we had to compromise, and he wore socks on the beach because I could not find any water shoes his size. So he was fine, and he played in the sand. He made sand castles, and he had fun. But I tried to take him in the water. I held him, and he came with me in the water, and he was okay. But when I tried to put him down in the water, yeah, he wasn't having that. Yeah, but my oldest grandson, Jeremiah, takes to the water like a fish. He absolutely loves the water. And if he could have stayed there, he would have. So we had fun, and Bear was with me, and Bear's partner. So they were there, and yeah, we had a very nice time. So yeah, it was the five of us, and I can't wait to do it again. I didn't get in any crabbing or fishing this trip because we got there on Friday. I left here on Friday, and we arrived Friday afternoon. It took so long because traffic was horrible. So usually when we drive down, we take the scenic route, which turns a 5-hour drive into a 6-hour drive. But that's the way that we like it when we're road tripping. We like to see things instead of just highway. So, but it took us 7 hours to get down, and my other sisters drove down as well, and it took them 7 hours, and they just took straight highways. Um, yeah, it actually took them a little over 7 hours. So when you average it out, like, we only added a hour of traffic to our time, whereas they added 2 hours of traffic. So yeah, I'll take that any day. But it's fun road tripping when, when you can vibe off the music. Since we're polyamorous, we listen to any and everything, and then you have good conversations and good debates, um, about different things. So yeah, me and Bear have a great time, and Danny was a wonderful addition. um, Danny is Bear's partner, and it's a wonderful addition to our trip. He said he had a nice time. I hope he did. Um, but yeah, and I hope we all get to do it again. And next time, make it a fishing trip. I also bought Bubby his fishing rod. And he practiced with that fishing rod for probably close to 2 hours. He had never even held a fishing rod before, but yeah, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it, and he can't wait to go fishing. He cannot wait. He is so excited. But I think his dad may try to take him. I'm not sure. He did say something about it, but I wasn't really paying attention. I was up to shenanigans with the family. But anyway, we are continuing to work on Storm Inside by Yuumei Arts, and this is a diamond art club canvas. I am sitting in my backyard right now. I am still on vacation. I'm on vacation until the 3rd of August. And I just needed a rest day because we didn't get back until after. It was almost 1 o'clock in the morning when we did get back, because we tried to maximize our time with the family. So we ended up leaving a lot later than what we thought we would, but it was well worth it. But I was just tired from that drive. I drove the whole way there and the whole way back. I didn't have to, but I wanted to. So yeah. So everyone is back home. Bear is back in Glassboro. And I don't know if I told you guys before, but he goes to school at Rowan University. So, and he decided to stay with his partner for the summer. He really hasn't, he spent his first summer home, but after that, he started spending his summers, with his friends up in Glassboro. So, and this year, his partner doesn't go to Rowan, but they have roommates, and they have rented a space up there, and so I kind of miss him already. but I don't think that he's gonna come home. Um, like as far as to live anymore. I think that he's very happy up there. So, you know, as long as he's happy, I'm happy for him. So I don't make any constraints on him or anything like that. But we had to come back early so that they could go to work. So yeah, otherwise I would have been there, you know, my entire vacation. Um, but you know, it is what it is, and now I'm back home. I'm gonna get some fishing in this week. Try to do some crabbing. I think I found a new spot in Townsend, Delaware. So I think I'm gonna try that, and it'll probably be me and my sister Oprah again, and anyone else who wants to come. But yeah, I think I found a new spot, y'all. So we shall see. Hopefully it will yield some good results, and I will finally get to, you know, bring home a decent catch. So I just want a decent catch before the summer is out. That is my goal. I just want a decent catch, and I don't want to drive like really far to get it. But it is looking, so far it's looking like I might have to, because I'm not catching anything up here. So I might just, you know, have to bite the bullet and go further south. But we shall see. We shall definitely see. If anybody knows of any good fishing or crabbing spots here that are not in Lower Delaware, where I have to drive 2.5 hours to get to, let me know. And I will gladly thank you. If you see smoke coming across the camera, it is because I am smoking. I am a smoker. Don't care what you think. I will quit when I'm good and ready. Which is probably going to be soon, because I'm getting tired of wasting money on cigarettes. So yeah. Cigarettes and diamond painting are my only vices. So but I know that I would save much more money if I didn't have either. But you know, life is too short, and I want to do what I enjoy. It's a little windy out here, but it feels absolutely wonderful out here because we have a lot of tree coverage out um, in the back of the house. We do have an enclosed porch on the side of the house, a screened in porch, but that's the dog's domain right now, and we just lost one of the dogs here at the house, Rico, who was my sister's dog, passed away. We have a lot of things. We think that maybe he ate something in the backyard, because when the 4th of July came and all of the fireworks and then that really bad thunderstorm and everything, like, he went off his food, and she went off of her food, and the only thing that she would do was drink water no matter what we did. And they couldn't figure out like what was wrong with her, and she just steadily lost weight, and you know, prognosis was not good, and she passed away on my birthday. So that was not good news to get on your birthday, but we knew something was going on with her. But she did finally start to eat again, but I think at that point it was really just too late. But yeah, she had been nervous and anxious, and nothing we could do could calm her down. And they're not outside dogs, they're inside dogs, but we bring them out and let them enjoy the weather if it's not hot, if it's not too hot, and let them run around, in the field and everything. But yeah, the fireworks and all the loud noises that were going on really threw her off. And it's thunderstorms make them both super jumpy and nervous. So Cannon, who is my brother-in-law's dog, she has just been super clingy, but she started to come back to herself, so that's a good thing. Like, she's back to her bossy little personality because she is bossy. She's a little diva. Well, she's a big diva. She thinks she's a lap dog, and she is hella big. Yeah, and she is big enough to where if she wants to go somewhere or do something, she will push you out of the way and go and do it. They are trained, but like I said, she is a diva. She has a personality, and she is... I have never seen a dog switch when they walk. Okay, and she just switches, so I call her Big Booty Judy. So whenever she gets in my way, I'm just like constantly like, Judy, move. So, yeah. And she just twitches around, switches around the house, you know. But she is very lovable and she loves kids. She is a pit bull. And she absolutely loves playing and running with the kids. You know, we've never had a worry. She doesn't snap at them. She does not like strangers. But if they are a kid, they have an automatic in. Like, because all kids want to do when they get over being scared of her size, all they want to do is give her love. And that's all she wants. She wants you to constantly pet her all day. You know, your arm could fall off and she would just pick it up and give it back to you and make you rub her some more. Like, that is how bad it is. So we don't start rubbing her unless we plan on doing it for a while. It is just, she is just like that, and you automatically like want to, because she's so responsive. You know, that heavy tail gets to wagging, and man, she popped me with that tail one day and it stung. It stung like a whip. Not that I know what a whip feels like, but yeah, I can imagine. It felt like, you know, one of those southern switches, and I have experienced that in my lifetime a couple of times. So, because I am old enough to where, yeah, I got whoopings with switches and belts, and yeah. So, but I wasn't a whooping type. Like, I would take a punishment over a whooping. Yeah, that just was not a thing for me. So I wouldn't do anything to get me the whooping. I would watch everybody else do stuff and I would know what not to do. So yeah, I rarely ever caught it. But I have a sister who, I don't know, I think she thrived on them or something. I don't know. Because she was always getting a whooping. But she was mischievous and into everything and doing everything. So, yeah, she earned them. It wasn't like it was abuse or anything. Like, she earned them. She was my mom's biggest thing was lying. And it was my biggest thing with my kids too. So what I did was I told them, before you tell me a lie, I would rather you just keep your mouth shut and don't say anything. And that is how I always knew when they did something, because they wouldn't say anything. Like, nothing at all. So before you tell me a lie, just keep your mouth shut, because if I find out that you're lying, you know, the punishment is way worse. So you either tell me the truth or you don't say anything. So if they knew that they were in big trouble, they just wouldn't say anything. But a lot of the times they just told the truth. Yes, I did it, and this is why. So I wasn't into spanking my kids. But Courtney, my oldest one, I don't know how she made it to 18 without me catching a charge. Because that girl, I am telling you, woo, she could try the patience of a saint. And it's her mouth. Her mouth is so slick. You know, and she was that literal kid. Like, if I tell you don't go out that front door, like, she would go out the back door. and say, well, you didn't say don't go out the front door. That kid. I had that kid. So, yeah. Imagine that. But my children also know that, if you're in the right, look, I will die on that hill. But if you're in the wrong, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. And you're going to suffer the consequences. Whatever they may be. So they knew if they got into some BS or whatever, I'm going to be there, but you're going to hear my mouth. So just don't do it. Bear rarely ever got in trouble. I can count probably on both of my hands, and he's 20. I can probably count on both of my hands the number of times that I have had to even raise my voice. And that's it. And that is no joke. Like, that kid was, yeah, no, not me. He did not want to see me upset. So I don't know if it was because I was crazy, or he thought I was crazy, or what, but his personality was just like, yeah, no, trouble and me, yeah, no thank you. So I never had to worry about him. But Courtney, oh my God, Courtney was the one. She was the one. And now she has one that does that to her. So yeah, karma. And she just calls me up and she's like, Mom, your grandkids. And she'll call me up. I still remember when she called me up and she was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You said I would get it back and I'm getting it. So yeah. I was like, that phrase, wait till you have children. Yeah. Yep. Because that middle one, gives them the business. She called me all the time saying Sahir done got into something, or he done something, or what am I going to do with him? And so yeah, that middle one's going to be the one. So, but he's so stinking cute that even when he's bad, like, you can't stay mad at him because he's just so adorable. And he'll just look at you with those puppy dog eyes and you just break. I know I do. But then being a grandparent, comes with a level of patience that you never, ever, ever thought you possessed. And let somebody yell at them, even their parents, let somebody yell at them and you ready to burn the world. It is something about those grandbabies. I'm telling you, so I'm giving you fair warning that there will be nothing that they could do to make you so upset that you are like you were with your kids. There is just nothing. Like, if my grandson called me up and said, Mama, I bumped somebody off, I'm like, oh, I'm right there. That's one body they will never find. So yeah, unfortunately, I see it. I see it. So, even though that's not his personality at all, my baby is so Jeremiah is just so lovable. You can't help but love him. His personality is like stellar. He is the sweetest guy. And both of my grandsons are polite, even when they are upset and angry. Sahir is, he'll be crying and you'll say, can I help you with something? And he's like, yes, please. Or no, please. Or no, thank you. You know, he went up to a lady yesterday while we were at the beach, and they had these sandcastles molds, and the mold was bigger than his, and he wanted to play with it, and he tapped her and said, excuse me, can I borrow that? And she said absolutely. And when I saw him walking away with it, I never heard the exchange. And when I saw him walking away with it, I said, no, put that back. That's somebody else's. And she said, no. She said, he was very polite. She said, he tapped me on the shoulder and said, excuse me, can I play with that? And I said, yes, he could. And she was like, she said, he was just super polite and he is so cute. And I'm like, oh, God. Oh, God. So, yeah, he ended up playing with one of the little girls' big castle molds. And when he got finished, I didn't have to tell him to give it back. He took it back over to where they were, and they weren't there. They were in the water, and he wasn't going down there. But, yeah, I know that he would have said thank you for letting me use it. But he put it back, and yeah. And I was just so proud of him. And I said, yeah, my baby is very, very, very polite. Except when it comes to his brothers, because then he's just rude. He's just, he will fight the oldest one, just come in and just jump on him for no reason whatsoever. And Jeremiah just takes it. He just takes he just takes the torture. He will not harm anyone. He's just, it's just not in him. But Sahir doesn't have any, that boy ain't got no coup when it comes to his brothers. Like, and the little one, oh yeah, he's popped him a couple of times. So much so that Courtney was just at the end of her rope, like, Jesus, this is not regular sibling rivalry. Like, what is going on here? But, yeah, he has gotten plenty of timeouts for hitting his younger brother. And when he does not apologize. So it's always some reason, but Sakari is the baby, and Sakari will, grab him by his hair, or, it's just stuff that babies do. But, yeah, Sahir does not let that go. Like, if that baby grabs his hair, which he does, he does all the time, because Sahir does have a lot of hair. But yeah, you'll hear a pop, and then all of a sudden the baby is crying, and it's because he done grabbed Sahir's hair, and Sahir has let him have it. But they'll work it out. They will work it out. But if his brother is crying, he's right there looking as far as, why is my baby brother crying? And I didn't make him cry. So, yeah, I love watching their personalities come out, because it kind of gives you a glimpse into them as they grow, you know. And I absolutely love it. Okay, so I think we got all of those. What are we at? We are at 35 minutes. I am trying to keep my videos at like an hour. If you hear the lawnmowers, they're doing, of course, lawn care out here. Neighbors, and there are always lawn care companies out here. I think I only have 2 neighbors who do their own lawns, and we have, each house has like a little patch of grass in the front, but the back they have full on yards. So yeah, they just hire people to come and do it rather than do it themselves. And I showed you guys a picture of our field and everything, and I used to mow that. I used to mow that as exercise, just, you know. But yeah, I can't do that anymore. I cannot do that. So we have a guy that comes by with his ride on and takes care of it. So, and he happens to live in the very first house that's on our street, and we call him the mayor because he just nosy. He just nosy, and yeah. But ain't nothing gonna happen on this block if it is in the daylight hours. Nothing's gonna happen because he is on it. But two of our neighbors had their cars stolen from right in front of their house, and they were Kias, and there have been so many Kia, you know, apparently they're easy cars to steal, and people, juveniles, have broken into them and stolen them. And yeah, 2 of my neighbors had their cars stolen. They were stolen and totaled out, so now they have new cars, but they're not Kias, so thank God for that. But yeah, they ended up having to get new cars, and I'm like, what the heck? And these kids out here committing these crimes are just, they're a whole new breed. They are a whole new breed. They have no respect for the law, of course, but they don't have any respect for adults. And they all call it this oppositional disorder. Oppositional defiance disorder or something they call it. ODD. But yeah, every time I hear that, I said, no, they just bad. They need their asses whooped. You know, they don't have any, their parents have not taught them any, they've never had any real consequences, and they don't have any leadership or guidance. And I was like, yeah, no, because even though we, growing up, we had kids who did stuff like that. It was on a rare occasion, that you maybe had, I don't know, like one kid, that you knew, like in your neighborhood, that was just up to no good at all times. Now, it's like you can throw a rock and you will hit one of these kids who, you know, they're playing with guns and they don't, realize, that when you do that and you hurt somebody, like there's no coming back from that. They don't come back, and then your life is ruined. But I don't know. I don't know. This is a whole different breed of kid. This is a whole different breed. They make videos and, they feel, if somebody made a video that they feel like disrespected them, like they are, they're out to get them. Like, what? I'm like, number one, who the hell has that type of time? But these kids have it because there are no more programs to keep them out of trouble. They have nothing constructive to do with their time. And they don't seem to understand that. If you don't have enough community-based programs, then, idle hands are the devil's playground. Idle hands are the devil's playground. And that is the truth. When you don't have enough positive influences for kids, they need programs they can join to teach them leadership qualities and to teach them. And we had those growing up. Like, we had community centers and we had programs to do, like in the summer at night, for the kids. Like, they had parties in the park, and it was something to look forward to every Friday night. Like, they had DJs, and we had that, and it was constructive. They had basketball tournaments and things like that, and then they had real community centers where kids could go. They had swimming pools, and they've taken away all of these things. They have taken away all of these things, and now you have a generation of just idle kids who have no positive, well, I can't say they have no positive role models, but they don't have enough. They don't have enough community leaders, and it shows. It shows. Show me a community that does not give kids the opportunity to earn money and earn, and feed positivity, and I will show you a community that has declined. It has declined. And I will show you the crime rates and, the mortality rates and the incarcerations for serious violent offenders has increased. And the only way to decrease that is to fund programs that get kids off of the streets and keeps them off of the streets. Give them something to look forward to. And if they have to work for it, they will. They will. They just have to be given a chance. But if you take all of these things away from them, they don't even have a shot. Like, you're cutting their feet out from under them. You're cutting their feet out from under them. Especially when they're in a period where, first of all, parents are not in the homes because they have to work so much just to make ends meet. So they don't have that guidance. And when you think about it, like, we were latchkey kids. We were latchkey kids. Our parents, yes, our parents were working and everything, but they still had the time to spend with us, to take us on vacations, to let us see different things, and to, to guide us. Now parents now don't even have time. They don't have the time. And I can't tell you, like, the number of times that simple things, kids get in trouble and parents have to come to court with them, and the parents are not showing up, so cases get rescheduled and everything. Why haven't the parents shown up? Because they can't take off of work, because they've taken off of work 6 times for the same kid already. So their jobs are like, no. So yeah, and we see that and we understand it, and we can't move forward without parent representation. Like, a parent literally has to be there. So yeah, we see it, and we see it firsthand. Like, the moms come in, they're bedraggled, they are, just like, oh my God, I got off of work last night, and I didn't get any sleep, and my kid is out here, running the streets while I'm trying to work and put a roof over our head and, keep clothes on his back and food on the table. And it is crazy. And they're like, of course he is mixed up and hanging out with the wrong people and everything, because I can't be there because I have to work. So, yeah. So I really wish that I could retire just to help raise my grandkids, because, my daughter and her husband have 3 children, and daycare is impossible, and it's so hard to survive on a one parent income. It is very, very hard. And then you have all that pressure, and she's not getting any rest. The kids drive her crazy, so she's not getting a break because, there are not enough hours in the day. But, she's doing it, and she homeschools Jeremiah. But I think that she's realizing that it is a bit much, and I think that she's going to enroll him um, back in school. Um, I think I'm hoping that's what she does, because that'll give her a break, from trying to homeschool him. And then she has one that hasn't been weaned, who is clinging to her hip. So, that's another reason why. And then if they paid for daycare for Sahir, that's just one kid, and the other one she could keep with her. So, but yeah, I mean, it's not the perfect solution, but it is a solution to kind of get what she needs to be able to get done, and then also to have time for herself so she's not on burnout. So yeah. But my boss is retiring next year. My boss has one more year. She is retiring next year, so I don't know like what I'm gonna do as far as like I can stay in my position. That's fine. But it may not be for the incoming judge. Like they pick their secretaries. They can bring somebody in with them, because secretarial positions, judicial secretarial positions, are at will employees, and they are employed by the judge and not by the state, or not by family court, I should say, because they're still state employees, but they are employed by the judges, so the judge can bring whomever it is that they want. So if they are somewhere and get appointed and they have a secretary, they could bring her with them. So yeah, but I'm quite sure I'll have a soft landing wherever I go. Because I am well liked and I can work with all types of people. I get along with everyone, and the ladies there at my job, like, they are absolutely fantastic. When I ask for coverage for my vacation, so my judge wouldn't be struggling while I'm out, and prepared as much as I could, I just let them know like exactly what I did. And when I tell you that I had coverage for every day except one within 2 hours, and that's unheard of. That is unheard of. Everybody was like, I can take this day, I can take that day. I had one person who took 2 days. But Friday was the day that was giving me problems, and I thought I wasn't going to have anybody for Friday, so I was actually considering cutting my vacation short to go back to work. So even though all my judge has for that day is a is like an all-day trial, so she's not even going to be in the office. And then I just needed somebody to cover phones and emergencies. Many emergencies that came in, and thank God my judge wasn't on call. She's not on call that week, so that was a big help. It would have been, I think it would have been much more difficult to find someone if she was on call, if she would have been on call. But because she's not, I think that also made it easier. But yeah, and then our chief judge's secretary was like, I can cover Friday. And I was like, oh wow. I was just stunned, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I said, well, I was gonna, cut my vacation short if I couldn't, if I didn't have anybody. And she says, oh no, absolutely not. And yeah, she was like, I got you. So I was just like, oh, I was just so happy. So, and I love that. And they know that, if they ever need anything, they can ask, and I can, I can cover when I can, and I do. Like, I'm the first one checking my calendar when I see somebody needs coverage for something. But because there's only me in the office, it limits to who I can cover. But they're aware. Like, they are aware. And I always make sure to answer their emails. Like, unfortunately, I can't cover. And that communication in and of itself, lets them know that I considered it, and I would, had I been able to, I would have. So, yeah. And I love, 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 love my job. Love it. I'm just putting on ABs now. They are so shiny. Does anybody else use their multi-placer as a single placer? 'Cause I do it all the time. I just don't feel like flipping the pen. Just being lazy. But, okay, let me lift this and get those. I have to straighten that out because those drills look wonky. I think I got all the two. So all I have left are slashes and a couple of subtraction symbols. They're dashes. So slashes and dashes. What I have left in this, and it's so pretty. You got the purple and the pink, and then the white, and then there's some greens in there. So that background is just so pretty. So pretty. Where are my dashes? Because I only have a few of those. Which ones are they? Which number? 28. 27, 28. Here we go. Oh. Oh, that breeze feels so good. That breeze coming through there feels so good. I'm not quite getting hit by the sun, even though I'm under an umbrella. It hasn't moved enough to get me full on yet, but there are some spots that are in the sun, so it's making me hot. I'm going to end up moving in a second around to the other side of the table. So hopefully it will alleviate me overheating over here. But y'all, oh my God, the craziest thing. I have eczema. I have never had eczema. I have eczema, and it is sun activated, but it is only on my 2 forearms, like here and here. It's just starting to go down. Yesterday was horrible. It itches really bad. Like, I was using hydrocortisone thinking that it was like contact dermatitis or something because it's only in those 2 spots. Yeah, it turns out it is eczema. Oh my gosh. I'm like, can I get a break? Can I get a break? I just thought contact dermatitis. I done touched something or whatever, but it literally comes back every year now. It started it started two years ago. It started 2 years ago in the exact same spot. But yeah, as it turns out, it is sun-activated eczema. Like, what the hell? So, yeah. And if I want strong enough relief, because the itching is driving me crazy, yeah, I have to go on a like a steroid cream. And I'm like, okay, I remember having to use it for my kids because they have eczema, and Bear like has it like really bad even now. He had a spot on his back, and I'm like, I thought he got a tattoo. I'm like, what the hell is that? And he's like, that's my eczema. I'm like, oh geez. But yeah, he had to get a steroid cream. And yeah, I'm just like, wow. Oh, I think I knocked my AB off. Yeah, get back over there where you belong. You're not supposed to be over there. Okay, so now all I have left are slashes. Dashes are done. So I have them here, and they are pretty fairy dust drill. I don't know, like this is what I have left, and these, I don't know how I'm going to cover this entire canvas with the drills that I have left, but these are the only unopened drills that I have. So I am like, yeah, I don't know if that is, I don't know. I guess I'm supposed to do this whole canvas with the drills that I have left over there. But they looking skimpy. But I am past the halfway point. I am past the halfway mark on this canvas. So yay. And I want to find another, I think a bright canvas, because I have a lot of dark canvases, and I really don't want to work on a dark painting right now. And you know, they're dark squares, and I don't think that I want to. I'm not vibing in my dark era right now, so I do have a colorful, like a unicorn that's really small that I'm gonna do and give it to my niece to put up in her room. So